Mariposa Hub by Nagia Daido. It's good to have you today. Yes, and thank you for joining me. Today we are just having a brief discussion on how we cope with challenges, either pain or anxiety or stuff like that. What are the coping mechanisms that we get? And these things they temporarily help us to cope, but if it becomes our lifestyle, then it's a problem. So temporarily our brain is able to uh, go to that mode of operation to assist in helping our bodies to handle that hard situation. But if it becomes the norm, then it's a problem. So what are some of these ways that our bodies cope with hard situations? So number one, it's called repression. Repression is where you suppress it in your brain, and sometimes you can even forget what happened. For instance, if you went through an accident and almost everyone didn't make it in the accident, there are tendencies where it's just you black out in your head, you forget what happened. But it doesn't mean it went, it has gone, it's there. And maybe there might come a time where it is triggered, and then now you'll need to address it. So that's one, repression. Yes, then the other one is denial. Denial is where now you refuse that doesn't exist. You tell yourself no, it's not there. You deny the existence of that situation. And yeah, that's a challenge. It can help you to lie to your mind temporarily, but you'll need to face it at some point. The other one is rationalizing or rationalization, where you create a good reason which is false to comfort yourself. You soothe yourself. For instance, a student who has failed in the exams, they say everyone failed, so it's all right, I was not at the last one, or something like that. So you rationalize it. Or there's a breakup, then you say good riddance, maybe you are not meant to be together. So it helps you to rationalize, and maybe they were the bad ones and you are not addressing your own issues. So rationalizing comes in that way. You invent a seemingly good reason, but it's not true, so that you soothe yourself at that particular moment. But if it becomes a lifestyle, then it's a problem. The other one is projection. Projection is where you you don't want to take responsibility of what is the problem. You project it on others. For instance, someone who commits rape, instead of handling it, they say it's the lady who was not properly dressed. Or a father who commits incest with the daughter, they say that it's the daughter's problem who was passing around the house. Yeah, so you don't want to take responsibility of your bad habits. You project it on the other person. Yes, so that's projection. The other one is displacement. Displacement is where one you take on your issues to a lesser hostile something. For instance, if it's a boss, or maybe someone at the office. For instance, a father at the office, they are harassed by their boss. So because they can't deal with the boss, they take it on the wife, who is a lesser, in quote unquote, who can't really confront, or now the mother takes it on the children. The children may take it on a pet because it's a more docile um, object. So that's displacement. You take it on to the other person instead of just dealing with it. You know how to create measures on how to deal with it. The other one is reaction formation. Reaction formation is where you are behaving. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. You try to change what you think is not good. You mask and project the image people want. Maybe you're feeling angry, but because the people around don't like anger, you smile. Yes, so you project the image that people want. It's reaction formation. You react, you give them what they want, yet inside you're breaking. So that's reaction formation to manage the situation. Yes, then the other one is introjection. Their number, yeah, we are almost there. This is where you just take views of people wholesomely. You don't question. Just said, they have said. If it's a boss, they have, he or she has already said, so you feel helpless. You can't do anything. Or if it's a parent, they have already told me, they have instructed me, there's nothing I can't do about it. It's upon them. I can't do it. It's them. They have said, wameshasema. In Swahili, they have already said. So you introject inside. You don't want to question. You just take whatever it is, take it as it is. Then there's regression. Regression is reverting to an earlier childhood behavior. For instance, you start thumb sucking. You start going back in time so that you either create attention or sympathy and such kind of things. So there are people who handle issues through starting behaving in a childlike manner or in a previous way that is not the stage they are in. Yes, then the other one is humor. Humor, this one we see it especially with our comedians. They take as a painful moment and create humor around it. Or even when we are at home, we have some of our relatives, a hard issue is happening, but they create a joke out of it. And even Kenyans, I think we are known for that we are facing a lot of trouble, but we create memes, we create all manner of things so that we lighten the moment. So temporarily that assists us to deal with the challenge, but then for a person it shouldn't be the order of the day, because then you will not handle the real issues. You'll just be living in a facade. And so it's important that we balance. Yeah, the brain can help you for that moment to not break down, but then afterwards we need to find ways of handling it. And the second last one is ritual and undoing. Ritual and undoing. Yes, this one is where you try to compensate, to make amends for what you are not able to do. For instance, if their parent, they went away for so many years, then they come back, they try to just start either buying gifts or trying to just be there. So that's ritual and undoing what they did, the unjust that they didn't do, they did, and now they want to change it. But then now with that one, you need to have a clarity communication, because if you just come, probably it's a parent who went away, then you just show up and you just pretend like nothing happened, then it won't even do much good. It's important that there's communication and accept that there was a problem. If apologies need to be made, they are made. Then now the undoing trying to make the amends will make more sense than just pretending like the harm didn't happen. Yes, then the last one is sublimation. Sublimation is where one channels their emotions or the experience they're having to more creative and acceptable um, activities. For instance, sports or working or art and such kind. So some people even may overwork themselves. We may see that someone is doing a lot of sports, a lot of things, but probably it's because they are hurting. And it's not that everyone who is doing sports or such is in a bad shape, but others could be doing it because they are not they don't want people to see the side that is not good, so they channel it to the one which is more acceptable, it's more healthier. But then it needs to be balanced, because if I'm using this activity to hide and not to deal with my inside, then i'm not uh, I'm not solving the problem. I'm just prolonging the time frame, because at some point it will come and catch up with me. Yes, so those are the 11 mechanisms that most of us use to cope with challenges or pain or anxiety. uh, it's almost the default that our brain take us to, but we need to learn to balance, so that it's not our lifestyle. If it becomes our lifestyle, then we'll be in trouble. The brain can do that temporarily so that we don't crash, but after that we'll need to find healthy ways to face that issue, then we become better people. So thank you for that, and see you in the next video.